say,
Fuchsia.
Fuchsia. It's pretty.
Okay.
Ooh, wait.
That's what my little granddaughter gave me.
She did? My daughter did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that color on you.
Thank you. It's like matte. It don't wash off very much.
Oh, really? I like it. Was it the one that comes with the sponge? Or is the lip stick, or is it the lip?
Stick. It's a stick. Okay. That's the one that I gave you to put in your pocket.
Okay.
So don't try to run off with it. Now try to.
Right. But then I can use your number. I can use your statements that you say. Well, I didn't know that you wanted it since it was left in my possession for so long.
No, I just gave it to you today. I mean, I didn't give it to you. I just said, hold it for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
You do too. You excited?
I'm excited.
This is gonna be.
Ooh. Man. Yes. We're
ready.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. For the recordings now.
All right. You cool? I'm not sure.
That's something my dad would say. You cool? These chairs comfortable?
No, I'm gonna sit straight up.
Move this one over. You put a fresh battery in there already? No.
Okay.
So you want to work this way? Thank you.
It's my hair.
I'm gonna put on your yep. Wonder how long that's been around.
Huh?
That's a good idea.
What?
Those rollers.
I didn't have those for a while.
Have you?
Long time.
That's a good idea. I need to get one of them. That would be so amazing just to be able to put them in your head and walk around instead of sit down and be curling.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You have the nerve to make you you had the nerve to make you some ringlets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, you can use it.
Yeah, I mean that's nice.
I'm taking
But I still want my own.
Well,
But
what's the point? You can use it. It only take a few minutes. Yeah.
How long did that take?
Just a few minutes.
Really?
You let it warm up, put it in your hair for about 5 minutes, and you poop.
That's really convenient.
Mhm,
I
very.
really like it.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
trying to simplify the
yeah,
life.
that day.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
it's looking cute.
Thank you. Yours too.
Mm.
Simplify.
Simplify.
Time
That's what
management.
it is.
Time management.
Time management. And you know,
Time
oh my
management.
goodness, Mom, ever since you taught me that, ever since you taught me
Mm,
freedom of movement,
mm,
I think that was a phrase. When you taught me that, those
Yeah.
2 words.
mm. Spoiled you.
Oh man,
Mm.
freedom of movement. It is nothing like it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's nothing like it at all. Freedom of movement.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Freedom.
Freedom. Mm,
Ooh, your nails look good.
thank you. That was from your clip.
That glitter? Really?
Yep.
That look good. That's
No
nice.
glitter, but then some of it came off.
Oh, you probably didn't let it dry. That's good. That looks good.
I was like, ooh, I like this little nail polish.
Mhm.
Freedom of movement.
Freedom of movement.
Thank you, ladies, for your patience.
Oh, you're welcome.
Just want to get it right.
Freedom of.
Freedom of movement. Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. Now, when Naeem starts the timer, you can just start on your own, okay?
Okay, because I can't see it.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
How about I'll go?
Yeah, the lights in the way. But I can tell you over the.
Okay, all right.
Does that work better?
Yes.
I'll just tell you.
Yes.
And so this is when you're gonna start reading.
The book.
Gotcha.
Mhm. And when I pause, then that will give you time to talk.
Okay.
Just ask me a few questions. Because remember, we only have 5 minutes
Mhm.
altogether. What is supposed to do? Mm. This is exciting. You exciting?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It is very exciting.
No, I don't have a pocket on my jacket or my pants. Oops.
Can you clip it on the side of you? Let me see.
No, I didn't. Unless
Maybe you could
clip
maybe.
it. Yes.
Or you want to clip it down a little bit further?
Oh no, that's good. That's okay. But you clipped it inside out. I don't know if that matters.
Mm-mm.
Okay. My earpiece.
Here, I'm gonna come around on your side.
Oh.
Okay, this right here. Okay, yeah. Put this like this. Put this part over.
Put this over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like that part is gonna hang on your ear.
And put this in here. Like this.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I
then
need,
all
like,
these
the receiver
wires.
side. So then just go like, let me see.
Got it? Let's see. Yeah, you want to hide it. There you go. You hide it there. Perfect.
Wait,
Yeah.
did I pull that out of your ear?
No, that's still in my ear.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. And let me do you the same, and then just hide it. There you go. So let's go like this. There we go.
Then
This one's perfect.
you want to clip this on.
Yeah, you can probably just. You can go anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Just remember that it's there.
Okay. All right. Oops. Next time, I'll make sure I have pockets. Use
Pockets.
pockets. Side.
There you go. Just behind you.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Almost showtime, ladies.
Okay.
All right, the time will go by fast. So.
All right.
All right, let's go to see the frame. Make sure everybody's focus is right. All right, you look good. Okay.
All right.
Hey, Belinda, since you are the driver, what do you call it? Okay.
Um, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. My name is Belinda Olive Beltran, and I'm the author of the What is a Little Girl Supposed to Do? At the age of 5 years old, I was molested by my own father. I was threatened not to tell anyone. And at the age of 7, I was almost kidnapped on my way home from school by a Caucasian man. A good neighbor, an angel, intervened. She opened her front door and she started yelling. She called him all kinds of names, and he looked over his shoulder and he sped away as fast as he could go. I was young and probably 8 or 9 years old. My mother and my father, they separated. And my father was angry. He almost killed my mother and my sister. He shot through the big picture window with a sawed-off shotgun, blasting holes in the walls, while my mother and my sister sat on the couch in front of the picture window. He just missed them by inches. I ran and I hid in the closet. I was so scared. And I was so scared.
So when you were 5 years old, was when you were first molested?
Yes. It was my own dad.
Wait a minute. You was molested, Mom, by your own dad?
My own biological dad, my own flesh and blood, yes.
Did you say anything?
No, I didn't say anything because he threatened me and told me if I said anything that he was going to hurt me. So being 5 years old,
Hmm.
I mean, what is a little girl supposed to do?
So you didn't say anything, and then you kept it to yourself.
I kept it to myself until I was 18 years old. Yes.
And then I heard you say too that you was also molested by your stepfather.
No, not yet. But I was, yes.
Okay.
But I'm reading from the book here.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to go with that just for right now.
Okay.
And I said, life went on and I was very shy. I kept things to myself and I prayed to God often to give me strength. And at the age of 10 years old, I was molested by my stepfather. I kept it to myself and God. Then I was molested by my uncle at the age of 10 or 11. And I never knew I would not be safe in my own home as a child. Life went on, never mentioned it to my mom. What is the little girl supposed to do? What do you think a little girl was supposed to do?
What do I think what a little girl's supposed to do?
Yes.
Well, I've been a little girl before, and I've been molested, and I have not. I did not say anything until I became an adult.
Yes. And that's very, very trying on a young person.
To not say anything.
Yes. Yes. And it's very sad.
Remember feeling guilty? Or
I
do you
know.
remember how to, okay, so do you remember what you felt after that happened when it came to you not saying anything
I was scared.
to anybody?
Yeah, I was scared. I became very nervous as a young child. I came down with eczema,
Okay.
very condition. I was shy. I really didn't trust people at a very young age.
Yeah.
Yes. And so at the age of 15, I was almost kidnapped again by a Caucasian man. I was walking on Alberta Street from Jefferson High School. I had planned to go to the movies that's located on 30th and Alberta. But I realized this man was following me. And I was walking on 12th and Alberta. The man stopped his car and said, "Do you want to ride?" And I said, "No." And he drove off. A few blocks later, he stopped his car again. This time, he was a little bit aggressive. And he said, "Do you want to ride?" And I said, "No." He drove off again. He drove to 20th and Alberta, and he stopped his car, blocking my path, and I was unable to cross the street. He got out of the car, and he grabbed me, or he tried to grab me. Luckily, two men were working inside a carpet store. I started banging on the window, and I started yelling for help. And they heard my screams, and they saw me and the fear that was on my face, and they rescued me. The man was inches away from me, and he tried to grab me, but he ran and jumped in his car, and he sped off. That was terrifying.
And that was okay, so then that happened when you were 15 years old?
I was 15. Yes.
Where was that? What area? What part of town was that in?
It was on, I was walking from Jefferson High School,
Mm-hmm.
and I was headed to the theater that was on 30th and Alberta. We would always go to that movie theater. So I walked from Jefferson all the way to 30th and Alberta, but I did not realize this man was following me until I got to 12th and Alberta.
Okay.
And when I refused, saying that I didn't want to ride,
Mm-hmm.
he kept circling the corner, waiting for the traffic to die down so he would have an opportunity to grab me.
So he was just still driving along in his car.
Yes, going around the corner and waiting for an opportunity to jump out and grab me. That's what he tried to do. Yes. So yeah, that was terrifying.
Man, luckily somebody. Okay, so then
Yes.
you said that you ran and then you was bamming on the window of a business.
Yes.
Then and they came.
Yeah, it was luckily two guys, and then my mind was like, they were Caucasian guys too, and my
Mhm.
mind was like, man, I mean,
I hope they.
yes, I hope they'll be good. So yeah, they drove me to the movie theater, and I didn't have to walk. But I was so thankful that they were there, because if they wasn't there,
Mhm.
no telling where I would be now. Yes. So life goes on, and I'm carrying this fear in my heart, and I pray all the time. And I'm afraid to travel alone or to be alone. I graduated from John Adams High School at the age of 17. I thought I had met the love of my life, your dad. And we got married, and I had two children. You was my firstborn, and then your brother. And but throughout this relationship, your dad, he became a monster. He would beat me for no reason, and I suffered so much abuse. He almost killed me twice, but in 1976 I decided I had enough. I was so happy I got away from him alive. I prayed to God to give me strength to stay strong and to continue to take care of my two children, you and your brother. But on May 1st, 1979, I was involved in a car accident. And it wasn't my fault. You guys were in the car. I was rear ended. I hurt myself, and I wasn't able to work for a while. So life became tough. I was under a lot of stress, and, yes.
There was, I mean, man, there. Okay, so there was that was a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you said about your stepdad molested you. Then you said your uncle molested you, and so that was one of grandma's brothers,
Yes.
right? And then you oh my, I don't even, okay. Then, wow, Mom.
It's a lot. It's a lot for one person to contend with in a short period of time. Yes.
Right.
It's a lot to contend with. And so that is, those are things that have happened.
Mhm.
And I'm just so happy that God has protected me and us, and we're okay. We
Mhm.
came out. And so what happened was in 1979. All right. Thank you. All right. Okay.
Okay, Shanti. I mean, I like what you're doing, but you're still interviewing.
Yeah, that's what
See, here's the deal. You're her daughter, right?
Mhm.
It's gonna be known. So you act like you weren't there.
Okay, so this is okay. So I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the part that's throwing me off, is because my mom, where she's reading her book, right?
Yeah.
And so the introduction of my mom reading her book,
Right.
it's by me now asking her questions about her reading her book.
Yeah.
I already know about it.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean?
You're supposed to discuss it.
You're supposed to just talk to me.
You sound like an interviewer.
Don't
And
ask
that's what I thought that you guys, I was supposed to be
No, you
questioning her.
No, you have the questions in your mind,
We're having a
but
conversation.
you're having a
We're
conversation.
supposed to be having a conversation. Don't ask me.
Okay, because you sound like you.
Exactly, I am questioning her.
And that's why I'm trying to get you to talk about.
Yeah, and then you gotta stop writing because I can hear that.
Okay.
It don't look good. So you just gotta know. You know the story.
I know the story
Yes.
already.
Yeah, so
Right.
I'm trying to get you to engage in the conversation when I'm looking at you.
And you're going
And
so.
don't look
You
down.
ain't looking all that good. So she's doing very good.
Uh-huh.
You got.
Well, yeah, she's reading her book.
Well,
She's reading her book.
Well, yeah, but here the point is
Mhm.
like she's reading her book to the newer audience. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're not the audience. You are a part of this. Okay, so now parts of what she's reading,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, okay, you remember or you experienced what happened, or so you start talking about, your
Mm-hmm.
that portion of the book. So it doesn't seem like she's just reading it straight through. You see what I'm saying?
I'm starting to talk about the portion of the book that she's read.
Yeah, that you just heard. So
Okay.
we're having a conversation,
I got
Yeah.
you.
right? And she's reading it, and then you're like, oh yeah, that sparked something. So have a conversation about that section that she just read.
Okay.
When she pauses. So you just got, because you were there, or you were too little to remember,
Right.
and then
Absolutely.
engage in the parts that you do remember. Okay, and so it's not, you don't have to think that hard. It's just
You're good.
all right. So
And that's why I'm looking at you, so you can just start a conversation.
Yeah.
Just say, I remember, when you were going through that. I remember during that time.
Yeah.
Just add to the conversation.
just add to the conversation.
I'm gonna have to add to the conversation because
Yes.
a lot of the stuff that my mom is talking about, I was not even born. I was
Okay.
not born during
No,
none of
I'm
this
talking
stuff.
about. I'm talking about. Some of the stuff you weren't
Mm-mm.
born, but
Yeah, but you've heard about the stories,
Mhm.
so you know it. So
Okay.
it's like I said, you guys are in the living room.
Or even if it just relates to you in a certain way, just give your perspective on it.
Yeah. But don't with the questioning and the stopping and the like you don't know her. No, you know her.
Okay, so what I was more confused about is that what I have been scripted on is that my mom was going to
All
read
right.
her book.
Okay, yeah, but here.
Okay.
Throw that out.
Okay.
All right. So just about what we talked about. All right.
Okay.
So I don't want you to work
Yeah,
too
yeah,
hard.
yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So you seem a little nervous. Your mom seems fine. Follow her lead.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. You ready?
all
So
right.
this second segment. So that was 10 minutes. You see how fast that went?
Yes. Okay.
All right. Okay. Relax. This is a marathon, and so it's not a sprint. All right. Okay.
All right. So then,
Everybody needs coaching.
okay. We're ready.
Yes.
So when I pause, I'm pausing for conversation. Okay. I'm ready. Well, I started hemorrhaging, and the doctor said we need to perform a DNC. And I said that was fine, but I did not want to be put to sleep. I did not want to be put under anesthesia. The doctor said they had to put me to sleep. And I said, no, I do not want to be put to sleep. And the doctor said, it sounds like you're angry. And I said, yes, I am angry because you're trying to act like you are God and you're not. This is my body and I have control over it and not you. And the doctor said, well, it sounds like you're angry. And I disagreed. Then I got pissed off and I left the hospital. Yes.
So when they was questioning you about if you were angry, did they ever ask you, in that counseling that you did they ever ask you how or when did the first things traumatic happen to you in life? I don't understand. During the time that you were talking to the counselor, did they ever ask you, did the question ever get brought up? What
No.
happened to you when you was
No.
a child?
No. They didn't ask those questions. No.
Okay, so it was questions that was based on you being in that abusive relationship with my dad.
yeah, that was part of it. I mean, just a history of the things that happened from the age of 5 until, I mean, just imagine all the things that goes on. And I'm
Mhm.
quite sure you and your brother remember a lot of the things that happened during that time. Because in 1979, you were 7 years old at that time. And I'm quite sure you probably remembered some of the stuff.
Oh
that was
yeah,
going
well
on.
yes, at 7. Oh yeah, at 7 years old, we was living with different family members,
Yes.
and then we started into the foster care system.
Yes, yes.
I even remember us living in that. I think it was Waverly Children's Shelter.
Yeah, trying to get away from the abuse from your dad.
Okay,
Yes,
I remember
yes.
that.
And so, yeah, but everything, worked out. I mean, God was with us. But then I wanted to continue reading on where approximately 1 week later, after I left the hospital, I had an encounter with the police at the hospital because the police said the judge ordered me to go to the hospital, the mental hospital, because I was an endangerment to myself and others. And there was 4 or 5 police officers outside the hospital there, and they grabbed me out of the car, and I only weighed about 120 pounds. They grabbed my feet first, and they started choking me around the neck. And I was carried into the hospital, and I started yelling. I mean, I tried to yell, but I couldn't yell because they were choking me. And they strapped me down, and the doctor injected me with some drugs and locked me up inside the mental ward at Holiday Park Hospital. When I awakened the next day, the doctor came to me to my room and said, "You are strong as a horse. You should have been asleep for a very long time because of the medicine that we put you on." You remember that incident?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And okay, so was that the hospital that was over there? Isn't there a Burkerville?
Yeah, that's the Holiday Park Hospital. It's still there.
Oh, it's still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Holiday Park Hospital.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the mental ward in there, but yes,
I
it's
remember that hospital. And I actually remember when the doctors and the it was the doctors and police officers. They had grabbed you up and they was trying to put you in handcuffs, and the doctors was talking about how, because I remember me and Muhammad was screaming and trying to fight the doctors and trying to fight our family because they was saying that was better if you went there, and if you went to the hospital, you were going to the hospital to get better, I remember that. But then I didn't understand, how did they say that you were going to the hospital to get better when my mom is crying and my mom is screaming and her children? That doesn't seem like this is.
Yes.
I remember that day.
Yes, that was horrible. That was a horrible experience. And the doctor continued to prescribe medicine for me, and they wanted to make sure I was taking this medicine. They would do blood and urine tests on me just to make sure.
Mhm.
But it came to a point I did not want to take this medicine, so they started giving me injections. I was in and out of the mental hospitals for 10 years. This was a very terrifying experience. The doctors diagnosed me as a paranoid schizophrenic. I knew I should not be among these people that was in this hospital. I was at Western State Hospital, that's up there toward Tacoma. I was there for 9 months, and I prayed constantly to put on my whole armor of God. And I remember you guys came to visit me one time,
Mhm.
or tried to visit me. Do you remember? Can you recall what happened?
I remember going. It was, I think it was Western State Hospital.
Yes, yes.
We drove up there, and there was like a little glass. There was a little glass. I mean, I've been to jail before, so I know the door. There's a little glass door,
Mhm.
and I seen these people, all different people, different types of people walking around,
Mhm.
and And I remember seeing you. And then, we was excited that day because we was going to see our mom. And they said that we couldn't visit you that day. And I didn't understand why we couldn't go visit you when I could see you and I could see you walking around.
Because I think you guys were too young and it would have been dangerous because there was a lot of.
Well, that's what they were
Yeah,
saying. They told
yes.
grandma that if she wanted to go and to visit the ward that you were on, it was supposed to be quote unquote supposed to be like maximum.
Mhm.
And grandma was supposed to, if she chose to go to visit, she was going at her own risk.
Yeah, it was risky.
That's what they said. You're going to go in at your own risk.
Yes, it was risky. But yeah.
But grandma was willing to do it. We was all willing to do it. But then we had Sarah there too. And then Sarah was saying that she didn't think that would be safe. She said, "Do you see all the people in there? How they acting? I don't think that's safe for you to go in there with the kids."
Yes. It was a dangerous place. So one afternoon, I was sitting at the day table. We was playing cards. I was with 3 other patients that was there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a Caucasian man that was under surveillance for 24/7. He slept in the day room for approximately 3 months. The man was chained to the bed, his hands, waist, and feet. But for some reason, that day, the staff decided to unchain him. This man did not like Black people. He killed 3 Black people because they were looking at him. I felt I would be next once he was unchained. And we continued to play cards in the day room. My back was turned to him, but the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, "Belinda, get up right now because you're in danger." And I listened and I ran and I screamed. And as soon as I turned around, I noticed the man, he had picked up a steel chair and he was getting ready to hit me over my head and neck with this chair. And I screamed. The staff ran and subdued him. The staff chained this man to the chair and moved him to another floor. And I never saw him again. I was so nervous. I thank God for protecting me and warning me of the danger. I praise God for saving my life. After 9 months, I was discharged and I witnessed so crazy things happening in the mental ward. That was a really, really tough time in the life.
And that was at Western State.
It was at Western State Hospital. It was a big hospital.
I think it's still.
They're still there.
It's still there.
Yeah, they're still there.
And you remember.
I remember
being there.
Yes, and I remember while I was in the hospital, this was horrible. I had to go to the dentist. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't no criminal, but I had to go to the dentist. But I remember they had me shackled down like they do the prisoners. They chained them. They got their hands chained. They got their feet chained. That's how I had to go to the dentist, in the chains.
They chained you up?
Yes, they chained me up. They chained me down. I remember that when I was there. Yeah.
So during this time, are you feeling like, are you a you're there supposedly to get better,
Mm-hmm.
but now you're shackled and then you're living amongst all these other different type of people.
Yeah.
How long were you there, Mom?
9 months. 9 months, almost a year. It was a long time. Yeah. So
Man, 9 months.
Yeah, that was a challenge. Yeah.
And for the most part, they had you had handcuffs, or you were shackled.
No, when you were inside the place, you didn't. But since I had to go to the dentist,
okay,
they had to shackle me, chain me down like I was in part of a prison thing. But yeah, that was that.
Okay.
And so, okay, a break. Let me see how I got. Ooh. So we ain't gonna be able to talk too much on the last of this.
Okay, much better.
Much
Sounds
better.
much better the second time. You still asking little questions at the end, but I did like in the middle there how you started to engage, and that's what I need. And then remember, if she says something, all right, if she's been locked up for 9 months, if she's there 9 months, she just said it. You don't have to say, well,
I got you.
You were there 9 months. How many times were you there? Because I'll let you watch it back because you asked the same question several times.
I know my mom looked at me.
You're a little nervous.
I'm not nervous.
You sound.
I'm not nervous at all.
Okay. All right. So remember the conversation. I think about 60% of the time you're engaged in a conversation, which I like. Other percentage you were still asking questions. So try to get to that comfortable level. Try not to be repetitive on the questions, and you're hearing and your experience, but you can relate your own experiences to the things. So just get more engaged.
Absolutely.
Engaging. But I'm liking the way that you're driving the story. I mean, you're almost like perfect for this. You actually probably. You said you did some journalism and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
that was
Okay,
journalism.
so that's what it is.
We're reading my mom's book.
Huh?
We're reading my
No,
mom's
but I can
book.
tell by conversations.
I got you.
This is my first rodeo.
I got you.
You know how many shows I do?
Absolutely. Probably a whole bunch of them.
All right, so I know. Okay,
Mhm.
and so and I see where you're at too. So you need to. You're good because we already done one. So I need you to get back there. Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. But when we did that,
All right, well,
we weren't reading a book.
We're gonna see.
I got you.
Because you're almost done. And
Okay.
so this is what I want to do. I want to finish up with the book,
Mhm.
and then I need you guys to discuss why you're doing the podcast.
Okay.
Your own personal reasoning. All right.
Mhm.
And that's when you get to shine. You go into
Absolutely.
your reasoning
Mhm.
of why you're telling you're in the podcast.
Mhm.
Since it's the first one, right?
Mhm.
All right. Okay. So
Okay.
about how far are you?
I got this. So we probably won't be discussing too much
Okay. So yeah.
because we only got 10 minutes left. But just
well,
like
no, we're gonna get this segment over.
Okay.
All right. So read through it,
Okay.
and then do your discussion,
Okay.
and then but we'll try to get through this, and then I want you guys to take the last minutes to discuss why you're doing the podcast,
Okay.
and then you can say who you are and why you're doing it, and then just keep in mind that you already recorded that really powerful story.
Mhm.
That's going to be on your second episode.
Mhm.
So you already done one.
Mhm.
So now you got to tell people
Right.
how to do it. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. But yeah, I did like this. I did like the second. So you're good. You guys are good. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Getting on me, huh?
No, I'm just like
I know.
I get it. This is I get it.
Okay.
We'll just
This is
have
my
our-
mom's story. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. This is your
yes.
story. Absolutely.
So
So
we
you're
could-
able to relate to your
Yes,
own story.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're gonna look at.
So how you just did it the second time when
It
you
was
started in a conversation.
Yes.
That's why it was worked
Yes.
because you started in on a conversation.
Okay. Everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. Mm.
Mm. Your thing keep coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're on film and he said nobody looking at us. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yay!
Yay.
Live every day.
Mm.
Ready.
Ready. when I would go to the psychiatrist for my weekly follow-up, the psychiatrist would ask me a few questions. She wanted to know, what did I do during the week? Did I have enough medication? Do I need another prescription? But her last question would be, did you hear any voices? I wanted to say, hell yeah, I heard voices, but I knew that if I would have said that I was hearing voices, they was going to give me some more medication to make me sleep. So I suffered daily on the medicine. I could not sleep sometime for weeks. I experienced anger, confusion, unable to talk or understand my thoughts. I would hear voices all the time, and the voices were very satanic. They were instructing me to hurt people, children, and myself. The satanic voices would be so overwhelming all day long. They would become so loud and aggressive, and there was nothing I could do to quiet them down. I prayed to God to help me, to remove Satan from trying to continue to control me. And it was a battle. And I would try to go to sleep, but I would have nightmares. Sometimes the voices would instruct me to kill myself. The voice would tell me to go to the pawn shop, buy myself a gun, go into the bathroom and shoot myself in the head, and it'll be all over. It's that easy. The voices and instructions was so real. And I said, no, I could not do that. What would my family think about me? How would my children live without me? What would God say about me killing myself? Thou shalt not kill. I would cry out to God. He said, everything is going to be all right, Belinda. God said, you can't run. You can't hide. This is between you and I. And that was horrible. That was horrible. You know, and I know you have experienced some things with those voices. Those voices ain't no joke.
Ooh. Oh. I was.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Mom, those voices.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
You remember?
I remember.
And remember how they sound?
I remember.
Doesn't it sound like that voice is louder than your subconscious?
Yes. It screams at you.
Yes.
Yes. The voice.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
When it's okay, so I don't know. I can't say when I know, but the voices I've heard when I was taking the medicine,
Yes.
it was one. It was one domineering voice, but it sounded like when he would give you instructions on why don't you just go ahead and just get the hammer and hit him over the head. It'd be totally fine.
Yes.
It makes sense. The voice.
Yes.
How was they? You know what I mean? The voices for you. You remember them?
I remember them. I hated to get up out of the bed. I hated to get up out of the bed. I wanted to stay in bed because I did not want to have to be up and around and amongst people with these voices, because they were instructing me to just hurt people. And that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
It was instructing you.
Yeah, it was instructing me to hurt people.
Like, give me like what?
Well, one time when I was in the store, I was doing some grocery shopping. And I seen this little old lady. She was in front of me, and the voice said, "You should just kick her in the butt." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm not going to do this." So the voices were, very overwhelming. So God helped. He helped me, and he said, "You is going to be all right, Belinda." And so I promised God, if you heal my mind, I will do everything that's right. I will continue to treat others the way I want to be treated. I am talking about agape love. I was blessed to meet a doctor in Vancouver, Washington in 1988. And that doctor said, Belinda, you do not have a mental illness. He said, you were just going through a very stressful time in your life, and we're going to try to get you off this medication. But you have to go back to the doctor that prescribed this medicine for you that was over in Portland. And so I went to the doctor. The doctor was not happy with the doctor that I had over here in Vancouver. She said that I need to be on this medicine for the rest of my life because I would not be able to function. But my doctor in Vancouver had faith and trust in me. And so I was weaned off the medicine. It took a while since I had been on it for a very long time, but I was weaned off the medication in 1989. And so I was so thankful that the doctor here in Vancouver, Washington, believed in me, and he knew that I was not a paranoid schizophrenic. And I'm just so happy that my life got back on track, and everything was good. And so I thank God for helping me survive this madness. And we have to fight for our life. We have to believe in ourselves. And we have to have faith. And we have to keep the hope. We pray to God and truly, truly mean it. And the reason why I wanted to share this book, my testimony, the test, is because I decided to share this regarding mental illness, because I know there's always been a stigma if you're diagnosed crazy. I truly believe mental illness comes from when you have been wronged by someone in your life. You try to keep the information to yourself, and you try to deal with it all alone. We will try to sweep it under the rug, but you don't want, and you do not want to talk about it. But sometimes mental illness is caused by our environment, our circumstances that you do not have any control over. Once you read or you hear this testimony, my experience about mental trauma that started at the age of 5 years old, you will understand why I suffered from mental illness at a very young age, in my 20s. I hope my test and my testimony will encourage you to look inside yourself and find the God in you. Forgive the trespassers. Fight for your life. Do not let Satan deceive you and rob you of your future. Strive for goodness. Strive for God. Promise, pray the prayer. Our Father in heaven, hallowed will be his name. Thy kingdom come, that will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. For God's kingdom is at hand. We will help usher in God's kingdom to come on earth as it is in heaven. All of God's people need to stand up for what would Jesus do and what would you do? We're the only ones that can make that change. Us humans that's on this planet, we're the only ones that can make that change.
What change?
Change of mind, change of thoughts. I'm not talking about change quarters, nickel, dimes, pennies. I'm talking about changing your mind and your heart and your thoughts and loving more. We're the only ones that can do that. The human beings.
The human beings.
Yes.
Even though there was all of these things that have happened in your life, and all of the things that's happened in my life, you're saying that we should basically still we should still supposed to love each other, treat each other what would be the correct thing? Treat each other fairly, treat each other
Treat each other the way you want to be treated in a good way.
in a good way.
Yes. Yes.
Because that was a lot.
Yeah.
That you went through, Mom.
It was. It was a lot. It was a lot. Well, you see, I'm an overcomer.
Well, yeah, you are most definitely an overcomer because you have 2 children, me and my brother, and I have 2 children, and I now have 2 grandchildren. So it is. They say that it is not too far from from the olive branch. It's not too far from the tree. That your seed that you have planted, most definitely. I don't know if you knew that you did that it happened, but I was always known to be not the class clown, but I was just the social person. Like I talk to everybody, and nobody knew that I came from these experiences. And when people meet you, they always say, "Oh my gosh, your mom, she's so nice. Oh my gosh, your mom is so nice. She's so cool. And her food is so good." They always say that. Always. And then you notice sometimes when we're together, when we open up and have conversations with some of my friends that's been around and they've met you, and you open up and we tell them the story, they're all like in shock.
Yeah, they're in awe. Yeah, they're in awe because who would have known
No.
that this person
Mm-mm.
has gone through all these things and they're still smiling, loving, and
Right.
no anger,
Right.
just pure love.
Pure love.
Yes, I'm done with the book.
Well, me and my mother, we decided to. I know that I had been doing a lot of journaling, maybe like 10 years ago, and I've learned that with my journaling. That you can express your feelings on paper, and so I had. Been journaling, and I wanted to turn my life actually into a screenplay. I wanted to turn it into a play. And during that time, during me talking about my story, meeting up with my ghostwriter, I came into this part of my story. I introduced my ghostwriter to my beautiful mother, and she introduced my ghostwriter to her book. And from that, he loved it, and we went on from there.
And we wanted to share this story because...
Oh my gosh, most definitely. We want to share the story because of the fact that we are going to be talking about mental illness. We're going to be talking about domestic violence. We're going to be talking about child abuse. We're going to be talking about foster care. Children that have been placed in foster care with, I would say, no fault of my mom's, because you didn't have no control over them saying yes or no.
No.
And so during the time that you was 10 years in and out of, in and doing with the different medications, in and out of the mental hospitals, me and Muhammad was in and out of different family members' houses or in foster care. But this is a story, most definitely. These are topics that I would like to talk about, because I do feel that there are folks that are out there that are experiencing with suicide, that are experiencing mental illness, that are experiencing with
drug addiction.
Absolutely.
Alcoholism.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times people, when they're going through some type of mental problem, they try to find an escape through drugs, alcohol, just, things that's not going to help benefit them.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes. I am so happy to be here today to spread the message of love and spread the message of we can be better people. When we go through things, we have a story to tell, but we do not need to be trapped into the negativity. Either we can move closer to positivity and God, our supreme being, or we can get down in the dumps to the curb and just not really be able to be the best person that you can be. But if we use our experiences that we've experienced in this life, if we use it as a positive thing instead of a negative, try to learn from it so we do not do it again. But I understand we're human beings. No one is perfect. We're striving to do our best out here. So my desire is to help inspire, to teach, and to share the story of life challenges. Everyone, no one was born without things that was not going to go right. God didn't say it was going to be easy, but these are learning experience for us to learn and to grow and to be the best people that we can be. So I look forward to speaking with everyone again, sharing our message of love and how to become an overcomer, because you just have to keep the faith and believe in yourself and be the best person that you can be on a daily basis. God bless you all.
God bless you.
Thank you.